Hey, and welcome to the pilot episode of... I don't even know what we're going to call this channel yet. Our vlog. So basically we're creating this vlog because what we do in our professional lives is healing work. I am the son of a shaman. I've been taught the traditions of my family from South America and from North America also, from the Lakota tribe. And this is my wife, Angelica.
Hello.
Tell them what you do.
I am actually an intuitive medium, and I also have been studying under Rimi and my father-in-law the traditions of the North American, South American Native culture. So...
yeah, and so we decided we have a podcast, we have our workshops, that's our baby Violet, and we decided to create this vlog as a supplement for people to kind of see what it is that we do. Professionally, we do a lot of healing work and we help a lot of people. We both teach classes and workshops and courses. And this is kind of just like behind the scenes of that. So what this is gonna show you is like how we live our life outside of that professional aspect. So this isn't gonna be like super educational. Like you'll see behind the scenes of us getting ready for work or getting ready for ceremonies or getting ready for our classes. But other than that, we're not gonna like really be talking about the stuff that we do. This is kind of just to show how we live our life outside of that. We thought it'd be very interesting because a lot of people kind of look to us and think like we have like this perfect life, and the truth is we don't. Like we have normal lives just like everyone else, but we tend to align the things that we do outside of work with the things that we are talking about. We walk the walk also, I guess you can say, and this is just to kind of show that. So this is going to be...
it's to show kind of the human side of things, of how to keep balance if you are a healer and you are kind of walking the path of being a healer and the responsibility that comes with that. But you know, you're also parents and you're also a couple, and there's other roles that you take on in the human part of it. So it's like, how do you maneuver the you know, human stuff as well as being able to kind of help people through really challenging times and connect with the other side. So that's why we kind of
perfectly said
created this.
Yeah, and so
It's fun for us and a way for us to express ourselves and connect with people.
Yes, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later because being creative is also a part of life. I'm gonna get driving and we're gonna kind of just run errands, and you kind of see like the stuff that we do and how we interact and all that stuff.
Life,
yeah. So we'll probably be posting weekly. You'll get little updates about what we do throughout the week because it's not super fascinating, but maybe you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah. Great.
All right.
Let's go.
It's time to drive.
So we are currently in this big transition in life. Right, Rimi?
Yep.
We're about to move. We have been working on purchasing a home, and it has been a bit of a longer journey than we thought, which is totally fine. But we've had a lot of synchronicities around it, signs that we've been asking for, and that has really helped the process because we just thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was, or than it has been. So
we asked for it to be easier, and in a way it kind of has been. We just weren't listening.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But we're in the process of like starting to pack up or figuring out what we want. But we're actually moving in with our in-laws, my in-laws, your parents, which is actually going to be really nice because we'll be in a home. We've been in an apartment on the 3rd floor for a couple of years, and it's been a lot with a baby and a dog. So to be in a home is going to be really nice. But then also to have the support and help of his parents with Violet has been pretty amazing. Would you agree?
Yes.
We love them a lot. Even though, well, we love them. So it's been nice to have that support. So we're going to be moving in with them shortly, and we're really excited about it, but we're kind of at the tail end of the year right now. It's a couple of days before the new year. here, and we have to start kind of packing up everything and work. I mean, we have a couple of days off, but it's going to be kind of a bit of a process here for that. Right, Dad?
It sure is.
So today we're kind of taking it easy, and we're running a couple of errands, and
we usually work on the weekends because that's when everyone else has off, so they come in to us when they have that time off. But this is our first Sunday off in like a while, which allows us, one, to rest, but two, it gives us time to start early on the errands that we need to do. We're going to grab a few things, but in between we're going to head over to the public library because they have a really awesome section for kids, and it's raining out, as Angelica said, and Violet is at that point where she's starting to learn how to walk and climb, and we live in a tiny apartment where we don't have a lot of space for that, so we're gonna hit up that. And sadly, not all public libraries are this amazing, but we have been very fortunate enough to find the one that is. So we'll record that little area also so you guys can see, because people tend to forget how amazing libraries are. Like, they have everything for free. Like, all you have to do is just go sign up, and then you get your little library card, and you can rent books and movies and video games and tons of stuff. And if you find something that they don't have, tell them about it, because it will easily grab it, and so it's more accessible to you. Libraries are they're funded by taxes, so it's there for us. It's an amazing resource that a lot of people tend to forget about.
yeah.
We can't sign up for that library because we don't live in that town. But everyone should. Like, please go to your local library. You don't even have to do anything. Just sign up. That way, to them, they have a higher number of people officially signed up for them, which allows them access to more funds, which allows them to grow and have better things. So
Yeah. So we will be heading there shortly.
yeah. All right, we've made it to the library. I just got a bunch of groceries done and decided not to record it because it is crazy. It's like 3 days before New Year's, so everyone's doing a bunch of stuff. This is a very beautiful library that we're going to right now, so Violet can get some energy out and play. We can all have a good time. I don't know if you can record or not in here, but I'm going to. So, let's see what it looks like. Wild. There's kids everywhere, so we didn't really record too much because go this way. So the cars are coming through. There's a lot of kids, so we didn't feel comfortable recording all of it. It died down and then it kind of rushed again, but Violet's getting a little hungry and sleepy. It's close to nap time, so we're gonna try to grab something to eat and head back home and take the groceries upstairs, and just one step at a time. Alright, so a day in the life of a healer family. Angelica just got back from the gym. I was watching the baby, and now we are switching. So I am heading to the gym now. And one of the things that I really wanted to talk about, if you listen to the podcast, I've talked about this before, but if you don't, you should definitely jump in there. The podcast is where we kind of talk about our experiences as healers and the things that work best for us while we are trying to get back into balance, because life throws a lot of variables at you. And I've said it before in the podcast, and I'll say it again now. Life isn't about being in balance. Life isn't about being perfect. It's impossible. There's too much going on. Life is about learning how to get back into balance just a little bit quicker than you did before, and that kind of helps you stay somewhat balanced, because again, you'll never be fully balanced all day every day. You can have long stretches of it, which is really, really good, but that's just it. This is the point of the vlog, is to show you guys the stuff that we do outside of our work, and how, you know, we practice what we preach, I guess you could say. And going to the gym is that. I don't wake up a healer. I don't brush my teeth a healer. Like, I don't do everything as a healer. But that is my profession. That is what is my gift and my bloodline passed down to me from my parents and their parents before them. But outside of work, I gotta do normal things to keep myself balanced. And so going to the gym is one of those things. And I used to go to the gym a lot beforehand, but I used to go to the gym with the mentality of like, I need to lose weight, and that never really worked. Now I'm going to the gym just to move my body, to have fun, because that circulates blood and that circulates energy also. But I'm not going to the gym to heal people, right? I'm not going to the gym as a healer. Actually, there's only one person that's going to be getting healing work at the gym, and that's me. So yeah, we're going to kind of just take a cruise there and start the day off as best as I can. And as I was saying before, life isn't about being in balance all the time. I try to routinely go to the gym as best as I can. But the thing is, Angelica and I both work, and we don't put our baby in daycare. It's not for us. It's been proven to really mess with the baby's nervous system to be pulled away from their parents for such a long time. That's why, like, at the end of the day, you'll see a lot of videos of like people coming to pick up their kids from daycare, and like the kids see them and immediately break down and start crying. Like, that's kind of intense stuff, and I don't want to put my baby through that. I want her to know that we're always there for her. So this is the sacrifice that we make. We go to the gym one at a time instead of together, and that's all right. I like it. So we're gonna get there. I'm gonna take a pause real quick because I am driving, and I'll start this up in a second. just got done at F45. It's time to head home and have breakfast. Like I said, I try to get to the gym as much as I can, like as routinely as possible. But I mean, I'm human. You know, things come up. I have a baby who's just 1 year old, and we have work, and sometimes I have clients, sometimes I don't. So again, just trying to do the best we can to stay in balance. That's about it. Let's get home and get some food because I am starving. It was a great workout. And I know I talked about it a little bit before, but I want to bring it up again, especially after the workout. If you ever get to a point in your life where you're just like feeling stagnant or like heavy and like you don't know what to do, go for a walk. Honestly, just start moving and it will kind of help circulate all that stagnant energy that you have inside. Working out is one of my favorite things to do, especially when it's like winter. When it gets warmer out, you will find me outside doing all sorts of activities, riding bikes, walking, going to nature preserves. So as long as you keep moving, I promise you won't have time to let that energy get stagnant for you to like sit or get stuck up in your mind. So start moving. Hey, so I'm going to be recording a podcast episode. Today I'll be doing it solo. Angelica is busy. She's got clients, so I figured I'll knock one out, a quick one, to kind of drop all the information of what we got coming up in 2025. So I am here. I'm going to show you my little setup. Microphones. I love these. This is a DJI. I'm recording this on a DJI. Just finished my Starbies. I got my GarageBand up. Right now I'm going to take the outro music from this episode and put it into a new one. So that's what I got going on right now. All right, yeah. So I gotta get the microphones out. I love these little guys. You just take them out, pop a little dead cat on here. The dead cat, for those of you that don't know, is to soften up your plosives. And a plosive is when you make like a P noise or like a harsh. This softens it so it's not like super harsh in your ears, which I love to have. These microphones are really nice, so you don't actually need them. But I like to have them just in case, because I like to just talk. And sometimes I'll get real excited about stuff and say things a little aggressively, and I don't want it to like come out in the listener's ears. So I'm gonna go ahead. Let me just get this guy in here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready, and yeah. So this is kind of just like some of the behind the scenes stuff that we do for work. I'm at Healing Arts Metaphysical Center right now in the Coyote Room. So yeah, get a little insight, and then we'll just keep updating.
Okay, welcome everyone. So I am about to start getting ready for clients for the day, and I thought that I would just share a little bit about that process. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Angelica, and I'm actually an intuitive medium, and I have been studying the shamanic arts for the past couple of years, and it has just greatly not only impacted my life, but it has totally elevated these like natural abilities that I have, let's say. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that just as I'm like getting ready, just as like an introduction to myself. But essentially, I'm pretty sure that these mediumship abilities and intuitive abilities stem from my mother's lineage. I'm not entirely sure, just because my mom was adopted, and I don't really know a whole lot about where she comes from. I have done like the ancestry and all of that, and that's been really fun, actually. I'm going to keep diving into that a little bit, but the reason why I'm saying that is just intuitively, I feel like this comes down the mom line, the mother's line, my mother's line, and it's been like just really, it's really interesting, because when I started this journey, well, let me go back. I used to do hair, and I used to own salons, and I love doing hair. I used to have a bridal business, hair and makeup business. And what's really interesting is one day I was just like, I'm closing up shop, and I'm going to like go into this mediumship. It was like things started to become like more impactful and loud, like the mediumship abilities and everything. And I'm like, okay, I can't ignore like what's happening. So I ended up just kind of jumping in both feet, like totally embracing it. And I'm really glad I did. It doesn't mean it was easy. There's been a lot of struggle, a lot. And I think if it wasn't for the shamanic portion, I think that I would be in a lot of a different place than I am right now, because it has been a journey. But with that being said, people always ask, like, have you had these abilities your whole life? And short answer, yes. Long answer, they really started to elevate in 2016 when I started the healing journey. And when I started to learn, I actually was working with a coach in the hair industry who was rooted in Kabbalah. And while I don't really resonate with Kabbalah, it was a really good moment that taught me just like the difference between like self and ego. And that was kind of like one of the big catalysts for this journey. So thankful for that. But what happened is because I was on this sort of self-discovery journey and healing and kind of confronting a lot of my past, my mediumship abilities just opened wide up, like literally opened up. But I do feel that because of the traumatic childhood that I did have, think of these abilities as being within me. Think of them as like being dormant. And I think because of the experiences that I had, it sort of like activated or allowed this path to open up to me. Like it allowed this journey to open up. And it was something I chose. That it was a conscious choice, you know, to kind of go down this path. And I'm really glad I did, because I have found a lot. That's for a whole other thing. But essentially, going back to me prepping for clients, I'm really excited. I have a couple of regulars coming in that are just really, really kind. And we're actually doing healing on them. And I'm not going to go much into like the details of like all the tools that I have, because I kind of want to just show you like different aspects of like what it is we do. Because this morning, our daughter is sleeping in bed with us. She's 1, and it has totally changed our sleep. Honestly, it's been a lot easier for me because it's been taking me an hour and a half to get her to sleep at night in her room. But if she's in my room sleeping next to me, she goes right to sleep. So mom's getting more sleep. But got up at 5 this morning, went to the gym. It was a really tough workout. And when I got home, then Rimi went into the gym, as I'm sure you guys have seen him talk about. And it was a great workout. But with that being said, I kind of showered and came into work. So today we have a couple of clients. And what I like to do when I prep, of course, I'm obviously working with some smoke here, but more or less, I like to come in almost like an hour before my clients, and I like to connect to myself. A lot of the times, because we lead such busy lives, doesn't always leave room for time for yourself, quite honestly. So I like to come in, I like to kind of prep all of my tools, and I like to just take a minute, actually more than a minute. I like to take about 20 minutes to center myself and to connect with the 7 directions, honestly. And I find that it helps me just settle into the space and helps me settle in and prep for my clients and to be centered when they do come in. And I think one of my favorite things is actually working one-on-one with clients. I also do coaching, which I do love coaching, which I'll get more into later. But healing sessions really hold a special place in my heart, because I have found on this journey so far that there is so much power in gentleness and supporting one another and just being there when someone needs it. And it's taken me a while to be able to like get into this place of, you know, being that, because the human parts get in there. So Anyways, this is what the process looks like. This is our room. Rimi and I share this room. And right now, essentially what I'm doing is I'm just sort of working with some smoke, and I'm just getting my tools and everything prepped and ready to go. So I like to have like a little altar for my clients. So I always like to have fire. So I need to go get another candle. But I always like to have a little altar, and I like to kind of arrange my stones. I like to greet my stones. Again, this is just part of like the process of getting ready for clients to come in for healing sessions. When I am prepping for mediumship sessions, it does look just a little bit differently. But this is what we're doing today. And then after that, we actually have, I'll be recording a podcast, and I think that's all we have on the day today. It's a pretty light day. So to that, I really like to create like an experience for my clients. So I always like to take time to like center the space as well too, so that they feel really at peace. This is something that my mentor shares with us, is just like working with smoke like Palo Santo sage, not to clear anything, but to bring spaces and yourself into harmony. And that is essentially what I'm doing right now, is I'm just kind of prepping our space so that people feel at home when they come in. So it's a lot smoother of a session, but also just so that they feel comfortable. Because I know what it feels like to just have a really warm, welcoming space when you're going to get some healing work done. So that's essentially what I'm doing right now. So today is a really exciting day because I am actually heading into the city of Chicago for a New Year's Eve cacao ceremony. And I will be leading it today. So this is my last one of the year. I know we just had one a couple of days ago for a different community. And today this is like a totally new community that I'm kind of stepping up in, I guess, joining, which is really exciting. They're actually a couple of clients of mine. So I'm really excited to meet new people. And also it's like a totally new space. So I wanted to take you guys along to kind of show you how the process goes. What's really fascinating about cacao, it's like one of my favorite medicines to work with. And it has dramatically like supported and changed my life. So anytime I can share this with someone else, like I'm always going to. And I actually start preparing the cacao like the evening before an actual ceremony is taking place. And I always love doing that because messages start to come in as I'm preparing the cacao. So today it is New Year's Eve and it's in the afternoon. So it's a nice like midday, just kind of like reflection time for yourself. But the general message, because it's different every time I do a ceremony, and it's this. A lot of the time when we are stepping into a new year, people think we need to make these like dramatic changes, and that it's like this whole like 180, like going to the gym, eating a different way, like whatever it may be. But what's really interesting is that it's still winter time in January, February, until we get to March, where then it starts to kind of become a little bit more spring. So it really is still a time of like introspection and gentleness and being at home and slow moving and just like time for yourself. So it always boggles my mind why we think we need to jump right into something after the new year. So today we're really focusing in on the presence that the day brings, and also almost like a reflection of like who you were at the beginning of the year to who you are now, and how that version of you got you here, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be. And just kind of like reconnecting back to yourself. And I notice this a lot, even just within my own journey, is like this sense of like separation. Like we think we're separate from the universe. We think that like we're not of the universe. Like when we look at the stars and we see the beauty, we're looking at our own beauty. When we connect with the sun, we connect with the moon. Like that's us connecting with the fire and the water within ourselves. And even when you feel like a cool breeze on your face, like it's this beauty that surrounds us is just reflecting who we truly are, and we are one with it. So this sort of ego and humanness really makes us believe that we are separate. And I think when we feel separate, that's when we feel disconnected, or that we're unworthy and not good enough, and that our goals or our desires are not achievable. And that's just not the case. So we're really going to be focusing in on like that reconnection within, and that's gentleness and that stillness and patience with self. So I'm really excited. It's going to be a really beautiful ceremony. Like I said, it's different every time. Even with the last one I did a couple of days ago, you know, the messages that come in or the energy of it really just depends on who joins the ceremony. So we're actually sold out for today. We're actually like over what I'm like usually at. So we have a lot of cacao. I'm really excited, and it's going to be a really nice day. I wanted to say one more thing. As I'm driving to the city, I have a nice like hour to myself, which is really nice. Just to kind of be in my own stillness before I really hold that space for other people and guide them through some healing and all of that. We're actually working with one of my favorite blessings today. It comes from the South American traditions, and it actually is a variation of how I was actually taught. We kind of shifted a little bit so that it can accommodate people like in the ceremony, but it includes roses, and we're going to be doing like a little self-blessing with the roses and connection to Mother Earth, which is always the best. But I have this time to myself, and I have a really good playlist, and I'm actually practicing some traditional songs for the North American Native traditions. I've been practicing them for the past year. Yeah, probably about the past year. And they really help me connect to myself, just to nature. So I'm going to be doing that on the way in, and just taking the time for myself before I head in to be with everyone else.
Happy New Year. We are getting ready to record a podcast. The baby was just put down for a nap, and so we figured we'd get the last one in. Well, not the last one, the first one technically. This is our first podcast episode of the new year, and yeah, we are still kind of bumming. We didn't really do anything for New Year's Eve. We just hung out, but we were also both very, very busy. Angelica did a nice little ceremony, which you probably have already seen. We'll probably put that before this in the vlog, and so here, let's move on over.
Yeah, we're excited. We're gonna record. I'm not hiding. We're recording a podcast.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, you needed to get in so it locks onto your face, which is why I let you catch.
Jesus. Okay, so we are getting ready. We're in the process of moving, so our place is kind of a little chaotic and discombobulated, but the baby just went down. It's snowing. Some snow flurries just started, which is really nice. And we are going to record a podcast.
Just said all of that.
What?
I just said all of that.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about feeling like we don't fit in anywhere, and like how that's affected our journey and what we've learned because of it. So I'm sure you guys will tune in at some point.
All right, we just finished the podcast episode that's going to go up soon. And I think that'll be it for this episode. We're going to continue moving, getting things ready in our new place. And yeah, is there anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, have a good one. Oh, and then there's Baby Violet. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye.
Bye.